welcome to Let's Talk Careers with Sarah. I'm here to talk about what the signs are there to know if you're hired. So, assuming you have a wonderful resume, $1 million resume, that's how I call it, and you were called for an interview and you are super excited. Now is the first step have been tremendously hard work, right? Getting the resume done. Now you've been called for an interview. That's the second step. However, after you have been interviewed, you need to know the signs that not all the time is a good sign. Not all the time it means you are going to be hired. The fact that you've been called for an interview, there is a chance that you are going to be hired, but majority of the time you're not. So let's find out and dive into it. What are the signs to know that you are not hired? So now you're walking into the interview and you are shaking hands, and your interviewer is actually asking you questions that you supposedly should be prepared for, supposedly should know on top of the head the answers. So now you see, whenever they ask you a question, you are kind of not sure how to answer that. Either you're going to ramble off or you are going to answer inappropriately. So that's already a sign that you are not ready for an interview. How can you be ready for a job? In a job, there will be times when there will be problems arising without preparation. You will need to know how to solve a problem quickly, immediately, before it's gonna get worse. So that's number one. Number two is knowing the gestures. How is their face expression every time they ask a question to you, and then when you respond, how do they react? Do they smile aimlessly? Do they nod their heads? Do they ask you again that question but in a different way? Because if they do, that means they're not clear. You are not clear to them what your answer is. So that's number two. Be clear what you say. The third thing can be that they do the interview maybe too fast, maybe like 5 minutes. You're in, shaking hands, they ask you a few random questions, and then they say they will call you. If it's too fast, that means they don't want to waste any more time because they don't see you as a great candidate. A good candidate will be spending more time at the interview. They will be asking more questions in the interview in order for them to be sure that you are the right candidate. But if it's like 5 minutes, that means you are not making it. Now, another sign, the last one that I will say, is when they look at your face and they say, "Do you have any questions for me?" It's like they do ask that, that's great, but sometimes happens that they ask random questions and they don't listen to your answer. They don't react to your answer. They're not surprised on your achievements. So when they say, "Do you have any questions for me?" that means they want to end it and they're not kind of happy with what they hear. So that's the fourth one. I'm making this video short. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what other signs you have found. I would love to hear it. And by the way, you can go to my Instagram, Sarah Yusupov 10x, and ask me any questions and I will answer them over here, but you have to do it as a video on my DM me on Instagram and ask me questions that you have, kind of like regarding careers. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to see exactly how I can help you. See you next time. Bye.